bad, okay? And it's gotten so bad that the contract on Studio Movie Grill required that they make no event parking. You cannot have event parking in Lincoln Square. So now people are parking there, and if they go into Boomer Jacks and watch a football game on the big screen, they can come out and they could have their car towed. Okay, it's that bad. Now I would say to Studio Movie Grill, there's nobody going to come up here on a game day because it's nuts. Okay, I would not go up and watch a movie on a game day because I don't know when it's going to get out, and I don't know when all those other crazies are going to be on the road. So I would just write off game days as far as movies go. But they have it in their contract that there's no event parking at Lincoln Square. As far as parking in other places, that Trammell Crow property has their own parking. Mr. Kimball is putting his own parking internally. You know, everybody who builds out has a requirement by the city to establish a certain number of parking spots. So we understand it's a problem and we try to take it into consideration. Yes, ma'am.
Traffic is already horrendous on Collins between Randall Mill and Lamar and North. But now you're going to add all of this other businesses and people. How are we going to manage traffic on Collins?
Well, we have a very intricate and good system to empty out our stadiums. I don't think that there's a better system to empty out our stadiums. If you go to Shea Stadium, or if you go to Yankee Stadium, or any of these other places where they have stadiums, they don't have the thoroughfare system that we do to get you out of there. And I understand that it's trying sometimes, but yes, ma'am.
But I'm just talking about everyday traffic. And we have DHR Horton and their employees and shoppers and whatnot. I don't.
One of the reasons that people want to come here and do business is because we do have easy on and easy off I-30, okay? And we do have the ability to move those cars off I-30. Now I understand it backs up at rush hour time, but I-30 moves pretty good other than rush hour time. So I'm going to say to you that if you have a Trammell Crow with all these people in these parking lots, I'm going to say that they're probably going to move in and out of I-30 on a pretty regular basis. Okay, and that's the reason they would come here, is they can not only get to Fort Worth and Dallas, and we're right in between, but secondly, they can get up to DFW without much of a problem. Yes, Kelly.
Hi. On that highway overall design, and I know we don't really have control over it because it's TxDOT, but are there, or do you know of any plans to widen Fielder and I-30 further west towards Fort Worth, because there's only 3 lanes there from like Fielder on, and it's causing a big bottleneck now. And I noticed like 5 lanes in each direction on the new layout. But I also remember at the TxDOT informational meeting last time, they stated they didn't have any plans for Fielder, or for that point on I-30 from Fielder west to do anything, like expand or whatever. Do you know of anything further on that?
I really don't. You know, it's one of the TxDOT initiatives, and they would have to it'd be an action item on their part, and we would really have nothing to do with it whatsoever. Right. As a matter of fact, they don't even want us to clean the graffiti off our stinking walls because it's their property, but we do it anyway. But I really don't have any clue as to what TxDOT wants to do, or if they want to expand it. And I agree with you. I think that they should open up either an interior lane going one way or something as far as a HOV lane, or just widen it to the inside to where you can have 2 lanes of traffic on the inside. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a problem with the apartments going up on the barn. I do have a problem with us losing a lane of traffic. I don't understand why they can't put the parallel parking on their property and not take our street away. Is the parking lot that they are putting in the center of the building, is it controlled access? Is it just for people to visitors get to come, if visitors are coming, that's a high density area. There's not gonna be enough parking on Lamar to cover that. And is it access control, for them to come in and out of that parallel parking? I mean, is it just gonna be whoever gets out in? Because
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's going to be parking on the street, just like any other parking on any other street.
But not
There's going to be
controlled
something.
access where they just can go in.
Now the access itself to the building is going to be a card that the resident is going to have to show to get the arm to come up so that they can go in. And it'll also give them a chip, and it'll give them a time. I wish you had asked this question more,
I'm
Mr.
glad. You probably knew I was getting ready to ask a question, so
Okay.
I'm glad.
Anyway, there's going to be something like, well, there's going to be like 23 parking spots of parallel parking, and there's going to be something like 35 on the back side of the building too. So to go visit somebody in that building, there's a couple different options for you, but you cannot get on the inside of that building with your car unless you have one of those keys.
But I mean, around the holiday, something special is going on, there's not going to be enough parking for the people that are going to be invited to apartments in the area.
Well, I can't speak to the level of holiday flow that's going to be, might be an option for the residents there. But I understand your concerns, and there's concerns that staff has, there's concerns that you have, there's concerns that Jimmy and I have, and that's why that poison pill is in the ordinance. When we draw up an ordinance, we don't normally put that in, okay? Normally, that is omitted,
But
okay?
you don't normally get street parking, taking a lane away off of the street and give a private company parking on our.
Well, we're not giving a private company. It is parallel parking for you or anybody.
I'd rather have the lane, don't give me.
Well, I understand you would, okay, but that horse has left the barn, okay? And so the horse may come back to the barn, and if so, you'll get your lane back, okay?
I don't think it will happen.
Yes, sir.
Was it correct that in that area where that lane is reduced, that if you have parallel parking, and somebody pulls in, they're gonna have to back into that lane, and they're gonna be stopping traffic in the only lane as they try to.
That's true, okay, that's true. Or it may or may not be true, depending on how he pulls in. If there's two parking spaces, that are available, and he can just pull right in. But I understand that there's a possibility that, yes, you'll have to stop traffic and do his parallel parking.
That's stupid.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no other word.
Have you been down that street when school is let out?
Yeah, somebody's getting
And
paid.
not just the stadium event. It's backed up past where they're gonna build back. I mean, you have to inch your way down to Cooper on a regular day.
Okay, I'll be honest with you, I haven't been down that street when school is letting out, but I have been down that street several times at rush hour, and believe me, it is not a problem. I came that way tonight. There was me and another guy on that street, and the queue over at Nolan Ryan Plaza was 2 cars, and 30 was backed up. Now, that access road that comes off of I-30, that access road is you can go 60 miles an hour down that doggone thing, and you can bypass all that stuff quicker than you could possibly go down Lamar. So anyway, my suggestion, and I personally will probably take that route. Yes, sir.
2 of the worst east-west streets in North Arlington, from Collins to Cooper, Lamar and Randall Mill. They're continuous potholes.
Yeah.
What are you planning to do with them?
If there's potholes, I would suggest you call them in, okay, 459-5400. We'll put one of those trucks out there. We filled in 10,000 potholes last year. And if we know about them, we'll fill them in.
They're continuous potholes. You're not going to be able to do that with these streets. I mean, both of them.
And we all
Lamar
trucks and everything.
Randall Mill.
We will take care. Actually, Mr. Melton, okay, who is the director of our Public Works facility, he will take care of the pothole situation. If you'd like to talk to him further about it, that's his job. He is not only going to do that, he's going to pave just about every road. Now, I want to say this to you about that. There's going to be a lot of construction on these roads, and please, you guys have brought to us the fact that these roads are bad, and we are working as good, as fast as we can, with as much money as we possibly can, dedicated to fixing those roads. Yes, ma'am. You've been very patient back there.
Project, is it correct that it's on Lamar between Lincoln and Cooper?
There's going to be a test run of this particular thing between Van Buren and the entrance into Rolling Hills Country Club.
On a curve.
So one lane each way?
No, it's going to be 2 lanes going east, 1 lane going west, ma'am, and parking, and parking.
Yes.
But no, between Van Buren, okay, and the entrance, or wherever Norman Ryan Plaza Street is, okay? At that little light there at the beginning of the, no, not Center of Lincoln, Van Buren. Yes, sir.
Two questions. One, on your initial slide, you were standing in the dirt, and off in the distance, you can see that gas well, is it? Is that temporary?
Yes, sir, it is. They came to us, they wanted to drill 6 wells, and we made them state that all of their drilling was going to be done prior to the first entrant going into that
The other
apartment.
question is, and it has to do with traffic. I saw on the slide for the Commons, on the street, there's that bicycle sign. And I'm noticing this more and more.
There's no bicycle lane on the Commons.
There was one on your slide.
But let me assure you,
Okay,
let
but
me assure you.
I got behind a guy the other day. He was hogging the 2 lanes. He was all the way out. Feel free to use the whole lane. What is going on? It's not safe.
I can't speak to that.
On Center, on going down Center.
I understand. There's bike lanes on Center. If he's not in it, I don't understand why.
But it's the whole street. It's the whole lane. It says feel free to use the whole lane.
It's a bike lane.
Why?
Sheriff, you are.
I can't speak to that either. There's a bike lane on Lincoln. I don't understand it.
No, Center. Go on Center.
Okay, Center.
There's a 2-lane street going south.
Okay.
If you're going that way, one of those lanes is open to bicycle people. Feel free to use the whole lane.
Is there a sign there that says it?
Yes.
The signs are
Right to
growing.
whole lane or something.
That's state law.
Well, it's not safe.
Okay. Keith, I can't speak to that particular sign. Can we take a look at it?
Who makes sense?
But
Big
it
arguments
is
I always have.
it is state.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
state law.
Back to the parallel parking on Lamar. Why is that on the street? Why is that just now being addressed now at this late date? Shouldn't that have already been in the original master plan for parking for visitors? If you're saying they made no plan for visitor parking, that's got to be a huge oversight by the developer and the city.
Right.
Well, they have
So why
made,
this late date?
well, it may be a late date because it was on the agenda and you just found out about it, but it has been in our plan for the last several years. Okay?
For parallel parking.
Yes, for parallel parking on that side of the street and parking behind the complex of about 35 parking spaces over there too.
I'm sorry, you're saying that the road diet, it was what they're calling it, has been a part of the plan the whole time?
Yes, that's correct.
I didn't hear about it before.
Well, let me say
Okay.
this. Let me say this. These slides up here that we had earlier, they all show parking. They all show 1 lane going one way. They show a bike lane, which is not going to be on this particular street. Okay? So, anyway, yes, it's always been that way. Okay, thank you very much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate, I'm always blessed when I get such a good turnout. I think we had probably a little bit over 100 people here tonight. And anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking time out.